Welcome to Fireteam Chat, IGN's Destiny show. Thank you so much for joining us today. Joining me today is CJ Gibson.
What's up?
Fran Mirabella.
Hey, Guardians.
And Sean Finnegan.
Hello.
And on today's episode, we're going to talk about E3. We're going to talk about Trials going away. And looking at my notes, we're going to talk about those PlayStation exclusives and some updates from Bungie. But first, the news. Bungie is showing us a few ways our achievements in Destiny 1 are going to be represented in the sequel, and that includes a set of emblems for completing moments of triumph, unlocking items in the Rise of Iron record book, and achieving a high Grimoire score. You have until August 1st to complete each, and they did say that there will be additional touches in Destiny 2 to commemorate your achievements, but they're not spoiling them just yet. In Destiny 1, Bungie revealed that Trials of Osiris and Iron Banner will be coming to an end. The final era of Destiny 1 Iron Banner takes place on August 1st, 2017, while the final Trials of Osiris will happen on August 11th. As for the console exclusives waiting to arrive on Xbox One, they will transfer there in October 2017. Creative Director Luke Smith did say that the upcoming PlayStation exclusive content for Destiny 2 will arrive on Xbox One and PC in 2018. That's it for the news this week, but don't forget to check out the full episode over on youtube.com/fireteamchat for all things Destiny. CJ, you're feeling great about the Trials news.
No! Why? Why does it have to go away? I thought it was a joke. People were tweeting that out, and I didn't believe it at first.
I just don't get what the point is. Like, why?
Yeah, I think
really
that's
odd.
the big question is, this is where they get into that tricky spot of, understand you got Destiny 2 coming up. I think there's maybe a good reason for it, but I don't know what it is. I think that's the tough part. We don't have an answer. Like, is it because the services team needs to move on, or is it literally to make you want to play it more?
On our job here on Fireteam Chat is to speculate wildly.
Yeah.
And I can't even think of any reason, speculative or wild, that they would take away
Services team, like if they for some reason have to do those resets and track, which I don't know why they would or not, but if they have to move on to get ready for the next one, I don't know.
So there's people like me who are going, oh, once D2 will come out, I will still go back to Destiny 1 and play Trials. That hurts.
Oh, remember, CJ was like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to play every weekend. Actually, I kind of laughed
They heard
a little
me.
bit. Yeah, because like CJ was like thinking of the old times he'd always be able to return
That
to.
nostalgia.
The addict in him, because he played Halo 2 for like 10 years
Forever.
or something.
Now, to clarify, this does not mean we will not get these events in
Yeah.
Destiny 2. We do know we're getting 4v4, Trials of Osiris, and D2.
Yes.
I don't
We
know
don't
if
know
we've
when.
heard about Iron Banner.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
we also
the
don't know when.
Trials of the 9, right? Is that still
something.
just a
We
rumor?
also don't know when. Sometime before the first DLC drop is what I remember them saying.
No, what
off the
they
top of
said
my head.
was you would have a. They didn't use quite these words, an ample replacement. So they're like, you'll have
Before
something.
DLC one.
And we're like, well, we know we have elimination, but that's not trial. So it sounds like they've concocted like a stand-in.
Yeah.
That's not whatever this new Trials of the 9 or whatever else is called. So, but will that be their day one even? We still don't know quite that.
But this was my biggest fear in general. I remember thinking, okay, like how long will Destiny stay online for? And seeing them cherry pick things out of Destiny 1.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
That's nerve-wracking.
Well, then after that, like, they're bringing the Taken King stuff back, and then they're just kind of like, that's it.
see you later.
Like, Destiny 1, that's just like, we can't focus on that anymore. I think
Yeah.
they're just, they don't have the resources to focus on both products, it seems like.
yeah.
I mean, no one's arguing
Or they're
that.
choosing to focus on the sequel.
I don't think that that's a problem, right? But like, why take away from the game? Just let the game be what it is at the end of Destiny 1's life before
It
moving
has
on
to
Destiny 2.
It has to take more resources than we realize. That's the only reason why they wouldn't have it come back.
Do you think there's a chance they potentially are like, okay, the way that they added some of these features in, they're like, well, we want people to migrate to D2, so just gone, period, for that reason.
Then why not just like take the whole game offline? Now there's no Destiny,
I
so
know.
you have to get Destiny.
Yeah,
Well, then they can't sell anything.
yeah.
I was reading it again because I was like, didn't they provide better detail? But again, this is where it gets tricky
really.
for fans. They just say, Destiny 2 is rapidly approaching, like a sneak attack that's just about to crest the horizon. This means that our two competitive endgame experiences will be going into hibernation before re-emerging to spread their beautiful wings in unexpected ways in Destiny 2. So we don't know when and what in Destiny 2, but we also don't know why this means. That's the part that's missing. There's something
away.
between those two sentences. Destiny 2's coming. And because of that, we have to get rid of them. I don't
Like, what?
But you know, I get there's always they always talk about like things are going to change and we're not sure. And I don't know. This is one of those moments that the fans have the same reaction we do. Like, just tell us why.
Yeah.
I just want to know why. And if it's like the truth is, we just want you to play Destiny 2.
Yeah.
It feels like that.
No, that is the hard message. That's the problem. We're going to speculate. You're taking them away just to like get us super hyped for D2, which I kind of understand, but it's not really a good reason to stop a game that I bought.
Well,
you know?
so that's a different discussion. But even thinking about Xur and all these other things, like what else potentially could
go away?
Yeah,
What's
could go
next?
away?
Xur's
It's
staying.
like, I heard that Xur's staying.
No, they say it in the update. So
I
he's
know,
there.
but for now, like
I
who
mean,
knows?
There
not
must
going away.
there must be something going on the back end that we're not aware of. Because remember when the Taken King came out, they revamped all of the old playlists. Like they took away a bunch of the 6v6
Yeah.
PvP modes and stuff, and they're like, you can only do these three.
They were the
modes.
same game though.
Yeah.
This
No,
is
but
totally
that's what I
different
mean
game.
is like it's a
On the
similar
services side,
yeah,
maybe?
like there's a similar situation there, and again, just with the PvP mode specifically that they had to take away in order to let Destiny just be to move on with Taken King. I
You
don't
know,
why,
seeing
but-
elimination will still be there and everything. I'm just like, I feel like they have some really smart people over at Bungie, and I feel like they could have figured out a way to automate trials.
Yeah.
To just come back, just be like, we're automating trials starting September, so you might have a different experience, and that's what it's going to be like forever.
And so what's going to happen now if you go up to Brother Vance? He's just going to be like, well, sorry.
Yeah.
Dude, he'll be gone.
gone.
Hey,
right?
can I give you
won't be
these
there anymore?
boons? No.
That's what's interesting.
I'm not interested in having them anymore.
Well, he'll be gone.
Your strange coins are not welcome here.
But I bought all these boons. Doesn't matter.
Exactly. Sorry,
ya.
Guardian. I wanted to make 2 points. One, I actually never expected Iron Banner to go on. No. That one I didn't expect.
He
to
has
go on.
all those lines of dialogue about the trial.
They should. That actually would be a funny way to handle it. Or he's like, just keeps ignoring you.
You know what? Never mind.
Right?
Yeah.
He actually just out of his robe, you like go up to him to buy. Oh, sorry, I got to take this.
Yeah.
Sorry. He just keeps like
Maybe it's
nodding
the
you
queen,
off.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Remember when
Yes,
you
Petra.
bought?
No,
Remember
I'll
when
be-
you bought 500 boons?
But I want to make the point right. I didn't think Iron Banner was going to continue on. So that one, whatever, not as big as a surprise. But Trials for sure. That was like out of nowhere. But also would point out maybe it has something to do with wanting to get us in those last moments only playing just certain things for whatever reason.
Yes.
But
Make an
I
event
still don't
of the ending of D1.
understand what that is.
Well, it's an
you know?
incentive to do the book and a bunch of other things like that too. Because I know you were working on heavy kills. Every time I play with Destin and Trials, he's like, "Let me get this heavy kill."
I have one more to get. And
Really?
then I've-
You still do?
Then
Wow.
I've completed
Let's do
every
it.
node
Let's
in
do
the
it.
book. No, I've already got the shirt. But I want to complete every node, and the only one I needed was heavy trials kills.
So that's crazy. So
Yeah.
even thinking of that, like you won't be able to do that after August 11th.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I knew there was going to be a
I'm
timer
sure I
on
can
it,
get
but-
one more heavy kill.
Oh, you just
Well,
trolled yourself
yeah.
now.
The book closes, I believe, on August 1st. So, I mean, you got to get everything done before
That is
August
correct.
1st anyway.
Yeah.
So,
But
who
feel
knows?
like that's plenty of time.
yeah, it is plenty of time.
For
if you're
me,
not us,
not
where
I
you're
don't.
like,
For other people, I don't know.
dude, I'm busy.
I
I'm
was
actually
never gonna
now.
complete
I'm,
the book.
We're all
I'm
very.
actually-
I don't have a warlock.
well, you're
Yeah.
already done with what you needed to get all your stuff. Right?
I have my shirt. Yeah.
You have
so-
everything I think you need for the triumphs and everything.
Yep.
But I actually have not 100% gotten
Me
there.
either.
Because I'm like, oh, I'll do it. I got 5 months. Now I'm like,
The pressure is on.
Now I don't. And I'm really busy.
And we're in
July.
con season.
So
yeah.
guess what I'm doing this weekend?
Exactly.
Yeah, legitimately. I'm back to the book. Like,
grind.
in fact, I may not be able to play Trials till like Sunday or Monday.
Yeah.
Like I might have to wait.
So part of the reason this is happening is because of these rewards for Destiny 2. They're like, hey, you have until August 1st to get these, or August 11th, including Iron Banner, to get these things. How do you guys feel about the emblems that you're going to get? I think they're really subtle.
Yeah.
It doesn't really... I've been talking about this a lot. It's like, what's incentivizing me to stay PlayStation with the character progressing forward? And they did say that there's going to be subtle things in the game. And I'm going to start on PS4. I mean, the Xbox One X isn't out until November.
You're not starting on PC.
PC doesn't start until after Destiny starts
called it.
in October, late October.
It was in my window.
Of course.
So
Pretty much.
we'll all be starting PS4 for the most part, except Sean. And it's just kind of like, well, that doesn't really incentivize me to stay on PlayStation, but that's fine because I have all these other cool new platforms to check out. How do you guys feel about them? Do you like them? They're cool.
The emblems?
Yeah.
I'm more interested in what they said they would only shed a little light on.
Yeah.
That's a pun, by the way.
Done.
Get it? The ghost light.
I didn't.
Little light.
Deej did. I
Wait,
believe.
hold on,
Worst
back up.
dialogue in the
Explain
game.
that again.
So you,
Little light.
yeah.
Got
anyway, but
light in
the
it.
I don't
emblem
have time
stuff.
to explain why I don't have time to
Yeah,
explain.
gosh.
There it is.
All right.
Somebody wrote that on paper.
Don't do that. Little light.
Exactly.
Somebody wrote that on paper, then had somebody read it, then did the audio correction, and then put
It got
in a
mixed
game.
and it is in the game.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I've totally lost my train of thought after that. No, I was gonna say like emblems. We actually already have some of these, and like that's great, and definitely them carrying forward. It was nice to know for sure. This is what you specially will be bringing forward, so you can get a look at in the weekly update. You're like, oh, cool. Like these are the ones, and there was, I believe there was like one in there we hadn't seen yet, or one or two, but those will come forward to Destiny 2, which is cool. But I'm more interested in the. They said there was going to be other things they don't want to spoil yet.
Yeah.
So that's where like, what is it? Like, is it?
I think it's gonna be
know.
like subtle nods during the campaign, or maybe like unique sort of side quests that you
Like
get
its
or something
characters
like that.
always kind of like nodding.
I think it could be emotes.
Yeah,
I think it-
subtly.
Yeah.
I think it could be emotes, or maybe what could it be?
really hope
I don't think
I was wondering if they
emote.
would do anything.
They
like,
made it sound like it's narrative based.
So I brought this up before.
but how do you
like,
share that with other people? That doesn't make sense.
What do you mean share it with other people?
In other words, these are supposed to be things you show off that you
Oh
had
yeah,
to be
so
there.
that's what I was hoping
Nobody
for.
sees that in your campaign. I mean, not direct.
Roma.
In Diablo 3, when you played a bunch of
Exactly,
Diablo
stuff like
3
that.
and then you bought Reaper of Souls, you were given your character had like a visual change to it. You have these big like sort of glowing angel wings that are really awesome.
Trials.
And yeah, exactly. Basically that, like ornaments, except they make your arms and head and whatever glow in a special way, and people can see it when they're in the tower or out in the world. A visual change like that would be awesome. Emblems are cool, but like you can only see someone's emblem if you're inspecting them or if you're like in a party
Player
with them.
directories,
Your
Yeah.
guided games probably in the
Yeah.
future.
Your
So something-
character for the entire campaign is just fully engulfed in orange flame. It's like,
Yeah, or
well,
like-
he finished Destiny 1.
Remember, like for the
Shoot
reason
flames.
they took away the Nightfall buff with the glowing head,
Yeah.
and then they brought it back because I guess their
Well,
philosophy.
they liked it.
Yeah,
But right-
Fans wanted it. Yeah.
But didn't they take it away because other people were like, "Oh, I can't believe that
No,
guy
no,
has
it
it."
was-
Now I feel compelled.
It was
don't
more
think
that
so.
it was more that people were doing the Nightfall first because they felt like they had to get the experience
Okay,
buff.
okay.
Yeah.
First of all, it was the experience buff, but then they took the thing away with it.
right.
Because people felt inclined, like I have to do this first, which was kind of ruining your
But
choice to.
what we've learned from that is that people like to have a visual customization,
Yeah.
especially if it's something you earned and if it's something like meaningful. Like I was there during Destiny 1, so I would love to see something like that.
Let's
I think the biggest thing too is we don't know how it's going to track. So, are you planning on staying on PS4? Probably.
Yeah, well, this
Yes.
was a question. Yeah,
Can it go between platforms?
yeah. We don't know
don't
if
know
your
that.
moments, your emblems, can go between platforms.
So-
I'm speculating they can. I think it'll be a Bungie reward type system.
And a lot of
Bungie
people are
Net,
wondering
redeem it
that.
once.
Yes.
and you can get all your stuff one time. Probably you choose your platform.
Because if you switch to PC and you want to do all that stuff, and if you've played on Xbox and want to go to PC or vice versa, hopefully that's the reasoning behind that. Because if they have armor, it's going to be tough to do that kind of stuff with anything visual like that.
I'll bet you it doesn't work for PC.
Yeah. Are we still talking about this topic at all, Destin?
I was actually going to move on.
Just very. Yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah.
My last thoughts on that were yes, I would love to see ornaments or chroma. Great way to do it. Or what if there was like a weekly drop of like, you know how you have the pumpkin heads, or what if you got like a weekly drop to use?
As long as I can delete them if I don't want them.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
fine
I
with
mean,
that.
that sounds
Yes.
probably more complicated. But what if you like every week you get a
Having
few
to use
things
them.
I
to
have
like show off?
900 pumpkin heads that I don't want in my vault.
Yeah, but like for example, what if you could use some particle effect for 30 minutes to show off, like I was there at the vault, or
Or a
I don't
hair
know,
effect.
Yeah.
a hair effect.
Fireworks just shoot
Yeah.
out of your.
There you go. Fran is
Or
down.
like, you know, you get to the new like social space, and like boom, you drop from the ceiling, and then you're like playing guitar, and then no, sorry, previous
ever
episode
play-
Missed
joke.
it, Sean.
You guys ever play Halo?
My guitar emote is like my default one. The rising
Oh,
outline.
Yeah, I used it a lot.
Dot drops down.
Anyway, I know you got to move.
Remember in Halo 3 when like you played with the skulls that like you're shooting the brutes like
Yeah.
explode
Oh, yeah.
into confetti? Like what if
Popcorn.
every time you died,
Yeah.
You
Skull.
get
explode
headshot,
confetti.
explode into confetti?
That would be great. You know what else was great? When we all played Destiny 2 at E3.
Yes.
So, really quick, I want to recap some of the stuff
Good.
we experienced. Fran, you and I got to play the pole dancer.
We got a
I
T-shirt.
didn't get the Destiny shirt memo, guys.
You didn't?
Sorry.
You got. Oh, well, you have a shirt.
Oh,
You
okay.
I
should
mean, I
wear
have
it.
the shirt.
Yeah, yeah. But you
Destiny
got one.
shirt, Destiny shirt.
You got
This
one.
is the one we
Of
got
course.
when we
Destiny
played at
shirt,
E3.
though.
These are the ones the devs were wearing. It was nice of them to give them out.
Yeah.
To the fans that.
Yeah, these are for anybody who played the demo. We played the new game mode, which I keep forgetting the name of.
Countdown.
Countdown.
You keep
yeah.
making me forget.
Oh
it
my
when you look
goodness.
like that.
Yeah.
Countdown,
So
man.
Countdown and
And you guys were
Fran,
pole dancer.
Yeah. Fran and I play pole dancer. Fran didn't get to use it because he got his butt kicked so bad.
He used it once. He actually killed me.
Really?
And Stev one time.
So-
at
Wait,
very
the real
end.
name
I never
is not
got to use
pole
it.
dancer though.
No,
it's
Arc
Strider. Just making sure because I'm forgetting that part now too. Because we just anyway, we did get
The
to play.
Arc
Yes,
Strider subclass.
dude. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't really
What'd you
get to
think?
use it on anybody because they were all dead
Oh,
so
I
fast. You got to use it on CJ. What was it like fighting an enemy with it? It seems like
We
it's very
should-
close range.
I
No
let him
range
kill me.
with the
I let
with
him
the
kill me.
subclass.
Let's first set up what happened to Fran. Hey, everybody, come over and play. Like
We stacked
I don't
the
know what
team.
happened.
Fran, you can make the appointment. We brought in Mountain Man
yeah.
and Stev, who are
And
two people we
CJ
play
and
with.
me.
And then
Heavy
CJ
hitters.
Jester
Fran was
there.
there.
But guess what? I'm the fifth wheel. And so they're all piling in, and they all get on a team, and are like looking, and then I get put with all like the random
randos.
people. And meanwhile, like,
Fun fact: they hadn't played Destiny before.
first of all, yeah.
They were all
They
0
have
in the
not.
4th round.
Yeah.
So I get put in countdown with these folks. That's worth the setup.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, by the way, Stev's like top 200, 100, depends on the time.
Mountain are both
and
good.
CJ's quite good, and Mountain is also
Hey.
very good.
And
Destiny's
Destiny's
well.
all right.
But
I was like second on the board at the end.
You get enough heavy kills and trials, then I respect you. But anyway, so I'm on the other side. So my whole team kept getting wiped. And that's what I was going to set up is I was like the last one standing like, oh my God. But it worked to my advantage because boom, I had Arc Strider and I got that one moment, only once, I believe, to pop it. And I came at you guys. I killed 2 of you. And
Okay.
it
you
feels
killed me and somebody else. Yeah.
it feels a little bit like Arcblade, but the whole physics of the game are different.
Yeah.
But it felt great. And I got some really good tips from Lars, I believe, when I was playing. And also, who else was there with us? Was it John?
John.
Yeah, it was
Vice
Lars and
News
John.
Feed. Yeah.
Someone else was there. Oh, no, Cosmo.
So
was
glad you
helping me
guys
out, too.
invited me to come play with you.
Yes,
guys
We
here.
did. I sent you the invite to say, hey, come over at 10:30. Yeah. I
But by the way,
texted you.
so when you're in your Arc Strider,
I did.
Pro tip is right, like you can sort of dodge
There weren't
towards them.
staggered sticks, those shots.
So you can dodge and move towards them. So you got to get used to
Yeah.
that new on PlayStation circle double tap. Like it's a better way than just like
you can
jumping
shade
at
step
someone.
infinitely when you activate the.
When you
super.
activate it. So you're kind of like rolling to get in close and then boom. And actually when you, depending on your perk, you can get the kill, which will refill like a melee or something. So you can even get like faster returns on how you do it. So it was really nice. Strategically, it felt better. But
I
I'll
like
say,
the Blade Dancer comparison.
yeah.
Yeah, and did it feel like you're like when you hit Blade Dancer and it connects, it always kind of feels like you're like praying that it
No, this I recall it feeling pretty solid.
like you hit them, it connects, and they die.
It's because it's the pole now or whatever. So that definitely, I didn't feel like I had little arms.
With the
Yeah.
Blade Dancer, it always feels like you're hitting a flat wall.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like hopefully this registers.
Yeah.
I recall it feeling a lot more like, like I just like really connected at a good enough distance. So it felt great. The shade step component definitely, by the way, is the biggest change if you play shade step. It's weird. You almost like spin to the left or right. I think it's not like it's not a simple roll back and forward anymore. So, and the recharge took forever on that. I mean, obviously the loadouts may change, but anyway, those are my impressions.
I'm glad you liked Arc Strider a lot.
And I led the team with a 6-0 KD, and it's immortalized on Bungie's page. So they tweeted it out.
They
There's a
tweet out
shot where
us
we're all
playing.
kind of sitting there, and like Fran's on the other side with like
I'm lit.
Lars, and he's like,
With
"Oh
his head
God,
down.
Someone should.
I'm gonna
capture that.
die."
No, I think I was like, wait, what? Nobody's coming on my team. Like, what? That's what
feels
was happening.
bad.
We're like, no, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are like,
But it was fun.
Also, while at E3, we got to play PC. Just real quick. Oh my God, it is so smooth on
It is
PC.
good.
It is
Yeah.
so good on PC.
So I played for the first time Destiny 2 on PC at the
Yeah.
video booth there, and wow, the effects, like the particle effects, the rain effects, like the detail in the environments, the color, it all feels so good at 4K.
and that
60
wasn't even
FPS.
ultra. We've
Yeah.
not seen ultra settings yet.
We have footage live on the site. By the way, we have a bunch of awesome E3 coverage just in general that you
Yeah.
should probably check out. But
Nice work, everybody.
yeah, great job, everyone.
we did it.
But I definitely feel the call of PC now. Like as a PC first guy, like I'm a big Counter-Strike player. Destiny is one of those games that I've numerous times said on the show. Like I'm not necessarily sure if it's one of those games that benefits greatly from having 60 FPS. I now have to retract that statement because it definitely does. Like it feels very fast, very fluid.
And when you go back after playing on that, it's jarring.
Yeah, I mean, it was always a little jarring because I'll come from Halo, which is 60 FPS, to Destiny, and I'll be like, oh my God, where are all the
feels
frames?
different.
Yeah. But I had convinced myself, and maybe some of this was rationalization, that like I liked the slowness of 30 FPS in that Destiny feel because it was unique and to be frank, a little bit more casual. Like Halo, Counter-Strike, like those are way more hardcore. And I actually kind of see the mentality transferring now that PC will be a part of the equation, because that's how I felt. Is like, it's faster, it's more precise. Like, I just kind of now feel like I need to play it at that level.
Yeah, and Bungie games have always been at 30 FPS. I don't want to trigger anybody by saying 30p. It's really weird though.
You're still correct.
Yeah, I know. It is one of those things though. When even
Not
for me,
technically, though.
yeah, sort of in the film realm.
Let's not
In the
get
film
caught
realm.
up on that.
But it is weird. Like playing with the mouse and keyboard, I found I was able to be really accurate with the mouse, so I enjoyed that part of it. It's the keyboard element of the game that's difficult for me. Not
Plug in a controller.
well, and that's what I'm gonna do. Again,
Yeah.
I got flamed when we were live talking about that, but I am going to play with a controller, but I do want to try to get better with mouse and keyboard. Like moving around corners and the way you can maneuver,
Yeah.
you know that playing with a controller on, PC, you're going to get wrecked by really good keyboard players, like hands down. But I still think, competitive-wise, that's where people are going to go.
Yeah.
So, I'll be there too.
There was also a quote about there not being recoil on PC.
Yeah, this is
Thank
interesting.
goodness that PC lead David Shaw kind of reworded the statement. Recoil mode on PC, it's modified heavily on PC for awesome M/KB gameplay, mouse and keyboard. That still feels like Destiny, but we still have recoil. So
'Cause I was gonna say, like,
a bunch of outlets started running with this one, and I'm like, I played it. I'm
can
looking
see it
at
in
my
the
footage.
footage,
You
yeah.
can see it. It's there. What are they talking about? And his clarification is very helpful. So yeah, there's
Modified-
recoil on PC. So if you've heard that,
it would have been weird if there was no recoil on PC.
I remember when Duggan was like, "Hey, what's this about? There's no recoil on PC." I played it. I remember recoil, and I'm like, "Let's look at the footage."
Yeah, of
and I'm
course.
like, "I remember recoil." And then like they were able to clarify. Thank goodness. It was a strange.
Yeah, it's not
statement.
the same as console. It's
yeah.
modified for mouse and keyboard.
Yeah,
so.
definitely.
But Mark Noser did say that if you plug in a controller, there will be some aim assist there as well too.
Did he?
On the PC side. Yeah, he tweeted out because I remember thinking,
Which,
okay,
yeah,
that's
how
nice
it should
for
be.
controller
Yeah.
players like myself. So
All right. It sounds like they're paying a lot of attention to that, and aim assist is a big issue for PC players.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, I found myself, just going off CJ's point here a little bit, I did find myself, like, when I first played, so I played the demo twice, and the first time I got in there, like, it was just really hard to shake my Counter-Strike, like,
Oh yeah.
muscle memory. Like, I remember I saw an enemy, and the first thing I did is turn and crouch.
Yeah.
Because, like,
Oh yeah.
you gain accuracy when you crouch in Counter-Strike, and I'm like, that's not how Destiny works.
Well,
And
unless
it's
you have
like,
take
yeah.
a knee perk on. But
Yeah, and then I didn't ADS either,
nobody
and then I was
should.
like, oh yeah, you ADS and run around in this game. You don't have to like strafe shoot, or like crouch shoot like you do in Counter Strike. But I kept doing it, and I was like, this is hard. And then I had to keep looking at the little thing. I was like, wait, what is
You
super?
can remap
Like,
everything,
that kind of
thankfully.
stuff. You can, but it was just a little, like you said,
Yeah,
it was a little
it's-
weird to get used to.
yeah.
Yeah.
and if you're not a mouse and keyboard guy, like Lars was watching me in the back, and I was like, this is terrible. Please, I just want to go in my own corner. Nobody look at how I'm playing. Like
Yeah.
it was not good.
Like
but-
your super being F by default was a little weird for me. And then like Q is grenade, and like Q has always been quick switch for me. So like I don't know, it's just
Gotcha.
weird.
The final topic we want to talk about today is we did want to bring up PlayStation exclusives one last time. Feel like we're kind of beating a dead horse here, but so we know Luke Smith with Destiny 2. He said that the PlayStation exclusives will come to Xbox and PC in 2018, and
I was just
Fall
gonna say, yeah, that's a good
2018.
confirmation because
Yeah.
the asterisk at the trailer at the
Yeah.
PlayStation conference said till at least fall 2018.
which
So-
Sean got to see live.
yeah, and the Taken King exclusives are finally coming, as we said at the top of the show, to Xbox in October 2017, a month after Destiny 2 is launched.
That's the interesting point about this. It's just like this is the worst case scenario about a timed exclusive. Is the timed exclusive period is longer than the lifespan of the game.
Yeah.
Like
So-
for all intents and purposes, like the game's not dying,
Yeah,
but like
that was-
if you're a Destiny player, when Destiny 2's out, you're not really going minus maybe Trials CJ
Yeah.
over here might go back to Destiny 1, but you're not going back to Destiny 1. So for all intents and purposes, those exclusive pieces of armor and weapons just never got into Xbox
Yeah.
players'
yeah,
hands.
the
at
time
all.
period
That
was
sucks.
too long.
So the whole conversation that happened online with Duggan and you and some other people, and it was kind of an interesting point. It's just like, look, if you're going to make it that long, just say
make it
they're
exclusive. Yeah.
exclusive.
Just
Like,
make it
why
exclusive
even
entirely,
give
yeah.
the other platforms the hope? And what do you guys think about that?
I mean, how many times do I have to say it on? I want to keep it short because, like, you were right. For me specifically, I've said it so many times on this show. I don't like PlayStation. I don't like platform exclusive content. I think it's damaging for the community and it splits up the audience. And I wish that they didn't do it, but like if they're gonna do it at all, I wish it was at least a reasonable time period.
Yeah,
like I could eat it if it was
3 months,
3 months,
whatever,
or even 6 months, but like a year, 2 years, and then how about
you
this?
run into-
2 years after the game's sequel's already out. That's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, that
to me.
is long.
I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second, and then I'll explain a little more clear about why I don't like the exclusives. But what about Xbox? Like, they're on their stage. They're like, we have all these exclusive content during their conference at E3. They're revealing exclusive. Do you have an
talking about
issue
for
with
Destiny?
that? Not just for Destiny, just for games.
I
in
am
general.
against PlayStation. I am against. Sorry, I keep getting the words confused because my brain is fried. I'm against platform exclusive content across the board. It's not just because I'm not just whining because I'm an Xbox player. I don't think that Xbox should have had Call of Duty maps before PlayStation did back in the Xbox 360 PS3 days.
Yeah.
I just don't really talk about that because I don't really play Call of Duty. I just wish that, especially for multi-platform games, that if you pay the same amount of money, you get the same amount of content.
Got it.
And I get it, it's small, like it's a strike, it's a quest, it's some armor, it's a weapon or two here and there. But over the course of a couple of periods, like me and Brian Malkowitz went and looked this up yesterday, over Taken King, the April update in 2016, and then Rise of Iron, that list of exclusive content that we never got as Xbox players is kind of long.
Yeah.
It included a bunch of stuff that I didn't even know was there. And that is kind of it's just frustrating. And people are like, well, it's the reality of the business, so deal with it. And I'm like, okay, I still play.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I can't sit here and moan about it.
It doesn't mean I'm like, these are great.
Yeah, I don't have to like it.
Thanks.
The period of time for sure. I think that's the
So that's my big problem. And part of it's that the Destiny community is so incredible that I don't think I really like saying, haha, Sean, I got an exotic and you don't. We don't really do that to each other. And it's because it's one of the best communities in the world.
we do if we got it before them. We actually have like 10, 20 shows that we
sometimes
did
did.
that to you.
Yeah, I
guys,
did.
but
I did
I'm
with
just
them
kidding.
too.
Jokingly, maybe, but like in
But no,
reality,
we don't want to make make
in reality, I don't care about the spaceship. I don't care about the armor so much. My main problem is with the exotic because Destiny is a gun game. It's about the gun feel. It's about the new gun meta and like what you're using in Crucible or what you're using in campaign. And if I can't have that conversation with my Xbox and PC brethren in the Destiny universe, that really makes me mad. It makes me so mad. It's just like, get rid of the exotics and fine, whatever.
Yeah, but so I get that, by the way, but I don't think having a conversation with someone is exactly the problem. I get it, but
It totally is.
The issue is
I couldn't even talk to Sean about Hawkmoon because he's like, yeah, it'd be great to talk to you about that. I don't know what that gun's like.
I know. I'm just saying. I love that. I was just saying the real issue is that you have to choose a platform based on the amount of time
Also
something's
that.
there. That is really the main issue. And again, like if it's this period of months, you know, maybe because again, like if you feel like, oh, I'm on this platform, all right, I'm missing out for 3 months. Like I don't love that, by the way, but I can accept it, and then I get it, and we all move on.
Yeah.
But the length of time, definitely, like if you've never used it,
A year.
Never used
it, and it's a great gun.
Looks real cool.
It had its time.
Wish I had
before They
it.
changed the meta as well, and yeah, so like you never get to experience that.
It's not even just the guns. I just also want to point out the maps. Like strikes and stuff are really cool. PvP maps, like when I was looking up
the
this
PvP
list,
maps, yeah.
when I was looking up this list, I was like, this Icarus map that PlayStation players have had forever. I was like, that looks really cool from the screenshots. Will I ever get to experience it? No, because I'll be playing Destiny 2. Like
They're not
it
all that
sucks.
great, but it definitely would make
Icarus
sense
is pretty good.
to have them.
So here's the only other side. I guess I need to play far devil's advocate and say, so from a business standpoint, I mean, I do get it though. Like, or is there part of us that
No. I think we're all in
Yeah,
agreement
they were paid
there.
a bunch of money.
right?
So
release
in the
exclusive
end,
content on-
Create
Bungie,
exclusive content.
yeah,
Yeah.
in the end, Bungie, Activision, Sony, they're all businesses, and their main goal is to make money.
Yeah.
While providing great content and experience for the players. In Sony's head, this means something different, right? It means, well, we want the most players possible on our platform playing this game, so how do we incentivize them?
And Microsoft knows this. Like you said, they did this last time with Call of Duty. They were the lead dominant
Yeah.
platform.
Yeah,
for
they were
Call of
doing
Duty
it.
for
And
7
but
years.
but I want to point out numerous times since then, after Phil has taken over, he says he doesn't like that, and that's why he doesn't make those deals, which
not
I
anymore,
respect.
yeah.
Well,
but,
yeah,
it-
but also think about this. Like right now, PlayStation's also dominating Xbox One, like
Sure.
hugely. So if you think about the install base, it's like right now we're in a different situation than it was with 360 and PlayStation 3 last time. PlayStation 3 was not the dominant console for
It was 360, yeah.
for online PvP games.
Totally.
You would always say, oh, yeah, early on, oh, the guys from Xbox 360 will crush PlayStation or, and whatever. And that
Still true.
Well, no, I don't think so anymore because a lot of those guys have migrated to PlayStation. Staggered 6, yes, but,
just buy a controller.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Staggered 6.
So
Yeah.
all
So
I'm
for
saying,
exclusive content, this means
all I'm saying is this. Right now, if you think about how that, Bungie ended with Microsoft. I remember when that announcement was happening. That was huge.
It was messy. It sounded.
Yeah, it sounded like it was messy. So I don't know what happened behind the scenes there, but in some ways, a part of me is wondering, like, I'm amazed that Destiny is not actually a PlayStation 4 exclusive. Like, even if we think about it, like, imagine if that were to be an exclusive, because that's what Microsoft did with Halo.
Well, but then it'd be
They would
different
lose
because
too
you're
much
not adding content that's not somewhere else.
Also
Right.
a little different. Like
It
when
is.
Microsoft was with Bungie, they were a first party for Microsoft when Halo was being developed.
Right.
So
but in that
a little
sort of
different.
split, Microsoft got Halo. Bungie's like, okay, we're
gonna be
going on
indie.
our own.
Yeah.
Like, to think about them working and doing that whole
Yeah,
thing.
it could have
like,
happened for
it
sure,
could
but
have
it doesn't
happened.
really. My only point. That's kind of moot to the topic. Like,
No.
meaning you have multi-platform. They're making exclusives.
Yes.
The idea, by the way, again, the business idea is they're creating new content which would never exist. That's the part that's so hard for people to understand. Meaning, the story is supposed to be we would never have Zen Meteor
Yeah.
if Sony didn't pay for it. That is the story, and that is
Right.
what's so hard for us to understand because it doesn't seem realistic. It seems like they were going to make it anyway. But the truth is, we'll never really know because, right, you can't prove that they would have never made that gun.
We can go back in time to Assassin's Creed 2, I think it was, where they had memories DLC that you could download, or it was Brotherhood or something. Anyway, they literally took. It seemed like they took 2 of the missions out, made it DLC, and it reviewed really poorly.
Again,
because
that's the issue is like how did
It's
what
that
was
type of content that drives you crazy.
but how do you
it's
know
being created?
yeah.
Well, I mean,
That's
they
why I think-
created it. It is going to Xbox and PC, so I assume like that's.
But they were paid to create it. That's the story.
That's what you're saying.
No, that's literally the whole idea. Sony.
Well,
So you're
it.
saying
Sony isn't pay- see even you're confused. Sony is paying for the creation of new content. That's why they want it
Exclusive.
to be exclusive. It's not supposed to be something that was taken away.
Well,
that's how it's
they
supposed
have
to be.
not messaged it that way in
Of
any
course
way,
not,
and if that's what's happening,
And I'm not
that's
defending
a little
it, by the way.
clear.
This is the problem. Nobody sees it that way. How can you prove it? So it's so messy. And that's why, like, okay, I don't think it should happen. But when it does, if it's a short timeline, I can, like, get over it, right? Like, it happens all the time. Like, Soul Calibur way back in the day, like, that's platform exclusive characters. Like, you're never going to see them somewhere else. And technically, that was something the companies were sort of getting that. But the point is, it's hard for the gamer to understand. And
Well,
that goes back
yes,
to
it's
the
been
root of
happening
why.
and
for
it
years.
should be hard for the gamer to understand because the gamer has always been told like you make games for the gamer. It's the experience of the gamer that matters most. And all these companies always say that until they make decisions that don't act in the gamer's best interest.
Well,
This is how I feel. Is like,
No.
we just don't feel, we feel like we're getting stuff at a time when like it's already passed for other people.
You're getting hand-me-downs, basically.
Well,
Yeah.
again, you just don't know. Like, actually, I'll just bring up Dark Below. Like, people speculated that was created for the main thing and taken out, and then it became DLC, and it got a lot of flack for that.
because it's
my
in
point
the
is,
game.
well,
like the
kind of.
geometry's in the game, and then it's finished off.
So
with
the real question is, and it's impossible, how do you quantify the amount of work that goes into a game and the $60 you pay for it? Because there's tons of games that are like $60 that
I'll
are
tell you
like
how.
half the size of Destiny.
Yeah.
But how do you quantify that for the gamer? It's actually
overlap.
I'll tell you
Impossible,
how. I'll
right?
tell you how. You don't think of it that way, and you think about it in terms of the gamer's $60. Like, the fact of the matter is, regardless of who paid for the content to be developed or not, or if that's how it was at all, which, to your point, isn't a problem that I don't think any of us will ever be able to address because we're not devs and we're not in the room when these deals are being made. But to the gamer, it's all the same anyway. Xbox players pay $60. PlayStation players pay $60. PC players will pay $60, but PC and Xbox get less. Fact. And that sucks. Like, there's no way that as a gamer I can justify
You don't
that.
see that Sony paid for extra content for you for saying, thank you, Sean, for picking me. I'm going to give you free stuff.
Yeah.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But per this point, it's so hard
Yeah.
to understand.
Like, you
It's-
just
all I
feel-
know,
Yeah.
all I know is community-wise, I don't see a lot of people being like, "Go PlayStation exclusives," because of the conversations that are harmed within the player community because of it.
Yep.
And that's why I don't like them. That
Yeah,
was the
it's-
whole point I've
and
always
it's not
tried to make.
and I want to re-emphasize, it's not a platform. It's not because I'm an Xbox player. Like, I had the same reaction when Xbox made Rise of the Tomb Raider. a year-long time exclusive. I was like, ooh, not a good look. Because, like, one, that is Tomb Raider specifically is like a PlayStation, like a historically PlayStation
What do you
property.
think of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds?
I mean,
It's exclusive to
no,
Xbox
I
for a
totally
while.
get that.
Exclusive window.
I know,
Well,
but
is
we don't
it a
know how
year?
long. That's right. You don't know how long.
Probably not.
Yeah. So anyway, we could keep going on that
Again,
forever.
to say, like, to just go on the record, I don't think platform exclusive content is a good thing. But if you're going to make a game exclusive, that's a different conversation.
and or at the very least, it's got to be super clear to the audience, like where the value is coming from
Yeah.
and why and all that.
So it's a little murky. And I think for the most part, not a lot of people love the exclusives. I really like that Luke came out and said, look, I
He
think
confirmed.
1 year.
It's like,
1
get it-
year. Because the Taken King thing is a mess.
Yeah.
October, what?
2 years.
Yeah.
2 years
a month,
and a month.
after the sequel's out, no one's
month
going to
after
Yeah,
the
and with
sequel.
Trials and Iron Banner out of the mix now, it's like
Yeah.
Destiny 1's basically on life support. It's like, here you go. Here's Zen.
Yeah. And
Enjoy.
I have to imagine that Bungie doesn't really like this. It's difficult.
Yeah, I don't think they do.
difficult to message. Like,
Yeah.
what do they even say?
They
Oh, no,
can't.
no,
You
I
know?
don't
You
think-
can't take money from Sony. And again, the part of that is the business with Activision. And so that's the line you got to toe. We got to
like-
do that at IGN sometimes, right?
like,
Being a
with
big
how
business.
Bungie is Bungie has a long track record of being very involved in listening to the community about what they like and don't like.
It's
and
very
responding
obvious
to
how much
that.
they care about their community.
Yeah. And so like I'm sure that this doesn't sit well with them, but like that just leads me to believe that the deal that Sony must have struck must have been like astronomical in order to get them to topple on that because that makes me feel even worse that it's like, well, the reason it is because Sony like put a buttload of money
Remember,
into it.
Activision's the publisher.
well,
and they have
exactly.
A certain amount of weight.
And Sony's playing their cards right in general because it's not just Bungie. Like it's with Call of Duty. Like there's a bunch of like platforms that went over and made PlayStation their dominant platform.
Yeah.
That flipped
and like
from
just
Xbox.
just the last
Like every
point on this,
Activision,
like to extrapolate it off Destiny, like there's now more than ever has been this like war between PlayStation and Xbox, and I guess now PC's getting involved in it in just snapping up whatever content there can be in order to encourage players to go to that platform. Like I don't like that. Like I wish there were
It
just
is decades old, by the way.
I was
That
gonna
is it.
say
You're
Sonic
not going
and
to
Mario.
It's
Yeah.
No, I
it's
know,
been
but I
around
mean, it's
forever.
more now than
Sonic
ever
was better.
because there's people are competing. What did you just say?
He said Sonic was better than Mario. Did you really?
As a
say
huge
that?
Sonic fan, I can say you are objectively incorrect.
Sonic 2?
Oh my God.
Sonic 2
Oh,
or
Mario
Mario
was
1?
better. And let's
Justin.
move
Yeah.
on.
All right.
Yeah.
Mario is absolutely the
I
best.
love Sonic, but
Like by it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love Sonic.
Sad I
But
am
like,
Sonic
it-
for life.
Okay.
it just isn't good for the gamer when companies are vying for
Last process.
games and content and exclusive stuff, because then you're forced into a position to be like, you have to make choices about where you want to play things all the time. That sucks.
To me, that is the industry, though. Like that
but
is
that's not
it.
an excuse.
No, but that's been
But that's the
happening
point. It's
for
not going to go
everything.
away. Like
Yeah, like that has been Nintendo, Sega does what Nintendo don't. All these campaigns, like they've been going on for 30
You're not gonna
years.
see it go away. Even-
it's not going to change.
Yeah, even advantages on PC and Steam and stuff
Yeah.
like that exist. So look, it's not going to go away. People, publishers, platform makers will incentivize you, even like pack-ins, and it's always going to exist. Everybody's vying to get that.
What we're going to do, Sean, is we're going to get
But-
you a PlayStation, and then we're going to find you a staggered stick controller so you can use your Elite for it.
But then for Battlegrounds, I want to play that. So
yeah, we'll be over next.
I want to try that on console. That's exciting. Anyway, guys, that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much. Don't forget, if you listen to this in audio form, please leave us a review because it helps us grow. That's it for this episode. Until next time,
Guardians out.
Hey, everybody, I forgot to mention one thing. We're actually going to be at GuardianCon, the big community event this coming weekend. So if you're there, be sure to say hello to myself and Fran and introduce yourself. Just say hi. We'd love to chat with you. Do people still play this game? Yes, we do. And you can check out all our Destiny coverage on youtube.com/Fireteam Chat. Please stop leaving that in the comments.